Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about how to convert non-partition table to partition table in Oracle database 12c release 2. So like in the previous release of Oracle database 12c R1 or 11g, if you want to convert your non-partition table to partition table, like you need to be use the options like exchange partition or DBMS redefinitions, like which requires the multiple steps. So from 12c release 2, Oracle has introduced new feature that you can easily convert your non-partition table to partition table using the one simple alter table command. Right, so like if you have the existing non-partition table and if you want to convert that non-partition table to partition table, so you need to be use the alter table name, and remaining their partition details you need to be provide, and this is the online option, so it doesn't require any kind of downtime. So let's see this thing practically so you will get more idea. So first I will discuss with you regarding the my environment. So I have set up the virtual box. A virtual box name is db10. On the virtual box I have created one virtual machines, and on the virtual machine I have installed the Oracle uh, Linux 7.2 that I installed it, and also I installed the Oracle database 12c release 2 on this machine DB version, and DB type container database is there and the name is CDB. Pluggable database is also there and the name is INV. So we are going to be create our table, non-partition table, and conversion of non-partition table to partition table under the INV pluggable database. Right, so this feature is available in container database as well as non-container database, but you should have the database release 2 version. In the release 1 this feature is not there in the 12c. Right, so it is supported on the non-container as well as container, but you should have the Oracle database 12c release 2 version. That thing you need to be just uh, make sure. So now let's do the practical. So first of all I will create a one non-partition table. So let me just connect it to the database. So I have the database name CDB, that is a container database. So I'm just connecting to the my container database first, and this is the Oracle database 12c enterprise edition release 12.2. So to this machine, VirtualBox machine, I connected through the my putty. So from Windows I have set up the mputty, and from the mputty I'm just connecting to the my Linux box which is inside the my VirtualBox. Right, so now first of all I will check the status of my database. So v dollar database, so my database is up and running. Name comma open mode from v dollar pdbs. So I have three pdbs: pdb seed, read only, cells, read write, inv, read write. Three pdbs I have. One is a by default pdb seed, that is in the read only mode. Another two pdbs I have, cells and inv, both are in the read write mode. So we are going to be perform this activity under the inv pdb. Right, you can use any of the pdb. So I'm just connecting to the my inv pdb. Fine. So I'm just connecting as a sys user only. If you have the any other user, you can also use the any other user, common user or local user if you create it. So show con name. So just validate you are connected to the INV pluggable database. Right, now first we are going to create non-container table. Okay, non-partition table in our container database. So I am first creating the one cells table. So I am this is the cells tables syntax: ID, name, city, amount, and primary key I am giving as ID. Right, so I am just creating this table. Fine, so this is already exists, so I can drop the table. So that's fine. In case if it is already exist, so I can drop this table and we can recreate it. So table is created now. So this is the table which we created. This is the non-partition table. Right, next we are going to be create an index on the city column. Right, so why I am creating this index, that I am going to explain you in the step number 4 and 5. So I'm just creating the one index city underscore idx on the cells table city column. On the same table, I'm creating the one index on the city column. So this is also I'm creating the one index. So this is now you created the table and you have also created the one index under the city column. Now we are going to be perform the some DML operations. So I'm just inserting the records. One Scott NY. So this is the city name, like NY is like New York, NJ is like New Jersey, CH is like the Chicago. So I'm just inserting four records total, right? And out of four records, once I will create it, once I will perform the some insert operations, I will commit it. So now you have the table available. So you can see the select star from cells. So you have the table available for four records 1, 2, 3, 4. City, NJ, and NY, CH, CH, amount, whatever the amount you want to insert, you can insert it. Now we are going to be convert this non-partition table to partition table. So here, as we discussed initially, we just need to be use the alter table command. Alter table, table name, modify the partition by list. So here, on which column you need to be create a partition. So here we are creating the partition on our city column. So based on the city, we are creating the partitions. Okay, based on the city column, we are creating the partitions. Okay, you can create on any of the column according to your business requirement. And is the automatic partitions we are creating. Partitions p underscore ny, value ny. Partition p underscore nj, values nj. Partition p underscore ch, values ch. And this is the online keyword we are just providing. So this is the open bracket, closing of the bracket, right? And this is the online. So in this way, this is the syntax to convert your non-partition table to the your partition table. So this is the very easy comparing with the 12C R1 and 11G, where you need to use the exchange partition options and the dbms underscore redefinition package. So which includes the multiple steps. So from 12C R2, this things is very easy, and this is also the online activity. So let's create this. So here we are creating the partition on the our city column of the cells table, and we are creating the range partition. We are creating the list partition. We have the many different kinds of partitions. So, but here we are just taking this example as a list partition, right? So I'm just creating this partition. So it is basically converting your table from non-partition to partition. So now you have the table as a partition table. So this is the only steps you need to be performed to convert your non-partition table to partition table, right? So next is what you need to be do. We need to be just validate how the data stores, because we have some existing data, how the data stores, whether this data stores in the proper partitions or not, because we have created the list partition based on the values we have given. So this value in our table ny value should go to the p underscore nj partition, p underscore ny partition. Nj value should go to the p underscore nj partition, and ch value should go under the p underscore ch partition. So these things we need to be validate. So before we validate it, let's gather the partitions. Let's gather the statistics on our table, right? So I'm just gathering the table stats, and now I'm just checking this partitions. So I'm just giving the formatting, and I'm just checking whether the partitions is created or not. So I'm just taking the cells table, db underscore tab underscore partition. This is the data dictionary I'm using to get the information for the partitions. So table name, partition name, number of rows. So let's get this information. So how many partitions we have, that we need to be check. So here table name says how many partitions we have. 3 partitions we have, and under the p underscore ch partition we have a 2 row, p underscore nj partitions we have 1 row, p underscore ny partition we have the 1 row. So that is correct, because in according to this insert operations we have a two records 3 and 4 we have the with the list value ct for the ch, okay, and for this 1 ny and nj. So in this way we can create a partitions, and data, whatever the data you have, that will be stored according to the specific partition according to the value. Now once you see this, okay, cells, table name cells, partition name ch, number of row 2s, okay, so this is looks good. Now we also need to be check how the indexes are managed. Means you already have the two indexes. If you can see here, how many indexes we have? Two. One we created manually under the ct column. On under the same ct column we have also created the partition, and also the primary key we have, so unique index is created by default. So how the indexes are managed, that also we need to be checked. So partitions created, data also stored under the specific partitions once you alter this table, so that everything looks fine. But now we need to be checked for the indexes. So let's see how the indexes are managed, because existing indexes we already have. So I'm just giving the formatting for the my columns, and now I'm checking the select the index name partition status from db underscore indexes with the table name equal to cells, right? So I'm just checking the my indexes first. Yes, how many index we have? As we discussed, 2, id underscore pk, ct underscore idx. So this index underscore pk, that is not a partition. So partition is not created on this index, and it is a valid state. ct underscore idx, where the partition is created and the status is not available now. Fine. So now on this index the partition is created, right? So let's see this thing more detail. Here I am just checking db underscore ind underscore partition. So I'm just checking index name and its partition name also I am checking. The way we have created the table and that partition name, we are just checking index name and the partition name we are just checking, right? So we are going in more detail. So I'm just giving the formatting, and we need to be use this data dictionary db underscore ind underscore partition. I am just providing the my two partition name, two index name, which will give you the information, right? So see here, under the one index ct underscore idx, which is a partition index, under this partition index, under this index, how many partitions? 3, okay, and all are under the usable states. So here indexes are created with the partitions, okay. So here you will find the index partitions, fine. So in this way, once you convert your table from non-partition to partition in Oracle database release 2 with the alter table close with the online option, so indexes, whatever the partitions you have created, that will be created automatically. Also the data will be stored properly on all the partitions that we validated. Also here on the indexes the partitions are also created. So here we validated that thing, and under the ct underscore idx index we have seen the partitions, and all are under the usable states. The first index, which is the primary key, where we have not this index is not a partition indexes, okay. So that is a global partition index. So here we created the partition on the ct column, and we have the indexes also on the ct column, so that's the reason this is created with the partitions. Now in case there is a one more options, in case if you want to create a global index, right, while converting non-partition table to partition table, this is what happened. the indexes are created, okay, but this is the local indexes are created for each partition. Okay, you can see here the local indexes are created for each partition, but we have a two option, local and global. Actually, while converting, we didn't provided any kind of options here. Let me show you. We didn't provided any kind of options here, whether you want to create a global index or local while creating this converting this non-partition table to partition table. So what will be happen with my indexes? So here by default Oracle will create a local index on this city column, because on the city column we have the one index. Now if you don't want to perform this uh, local index one, right, if you don't want to create this local index, so you can also convert your table from non-partition to partition. You can convert it using this option, update the indexes global. You can also give this option. So on all the partitions which are created, okay, and whatever the indexes are there, right, that will be global indexes, right. So here this option is also there. So let me show you this option. So this with this options we are creating the partition, so that process will remain same, but the only difference is the indexes which previously created as a local indexes, now there will be the only one, that is a global indexes. So partition wise indexes is not created, so local indexes will not created. So let me show you this thing, how can you do this. So I am just creating, drop the table, I have dropped the table, I am just recreating the table, I am inserting the records, I am creating the one index on the city column because we are creating the partition on the city column only, and just to differentiate how the local index and the global indexes are created. So to differentiate it, I have just created the one index on the my city column, because on the city column only I am creating the partitions. So now I am altering the table, and all the things up to this will remain same. Alter table cells, modify partition, list partition I am creating, automatic partition name I am giving, partition name value ny, partition p ny. Here I just need to be give the nj, and here I just need to be give ch, right. So everything will remain same. The only difference, up to this everything is same as previously we did, only the update indexes. So whatever the existing indexes are there, that will be recreated as a global indexes. Okay, if it is a global already, it will remain as a global, but here it will not create the local indexes. Previously we didn't provided this option, so that's the reason by default it is it goes with the your local indexes option. So let's see how it is basically changing your indexes with this option. So you just need to be create this, alter this table with the option of the indexes global, city global, right. So here again check the index and partition. So we are not going to be check anything that is related to tables, because that will be remain same, but we just want to differentiate the how the indexes are created. So here you can see IDPK partition no, CTIDX partition no. If you see the previously the index is CT underscore IDX index is partition, right. Now as you given this option, this index is with the option called CTIDX global, this index is not partition, right. Here you are seeing this option. Also you can see this here, again I am executing the db partition. Okay, I am just executing this again, you will not find anything here. So let me show you, right. So here again I am providing the index name db underscore partition. So here no rows are selected. Previously you found the rows in this way. Let me show you this. Okay, so whenever we executed last time, you found the all the indexes which are created, okay, which are the local indexes. Now there is no local indexes, there is only the global indexes. That's the reason there is no partition you found on the indexes, right? So here you will not find the index partition. That's the reason it is not giving you the any output, right? So if you while converting the table from non-partition to partition, you have also the option like how you want to keep your indexes, whether you want to keep the local or global. So if you want to keep it global, you can use this option, right? So in this way we can convert our non-partition table to partition table in Oracle database 12c release 2. Thank you.